in as Mamata's right-hand man Anubrata Mondal has been arrested, brought to Asansol. He's in fact now been taken to the raid location is what we are being told. From there, he's now been taken to the special court in Asansol. That's the latest that's coming in right now. Let me bring in my colleague Kishale, who's joining us on this broadcast. Kishale, there seems to be a lot of anger outside the Asansol court right now. If I'm correct, these are the latest images that are now coming in from the court where Anubrata Mondal was taken in. We saw a similar sort of anger when he was also taken to the he was going to the SSKM hospital about a couple of days ago, where there was sloganeering that was actually happening. What more are you picking up?
Well, exactly. These visuals show how people are angry against Anubrata Mondal. What are the emotions of the people that's running in Bengal right now? The visuals show clearly how people are showing slippers and their footwear to Anubrata Mondal, and this is not the first time. Before this, we saw that how when Partho Chatterjee was taken out of ESI hospital, similarly slippers were thrown at him, and similar pictures. Right now we are showing how Anubrata Mondal was taken inside the CBI special court in Asansol, and right now Anubrata Mondal, TMC's strong man, is right now inside Asansol CBI special court. And right now we are hearing that the reporters, the journalists, are not allowed to enter into the courtroom by the authorities of the court. So we are right now trying to get that update that what's happening inside and when the hearing will begin. But the journalists are right now not allowed to enter to hear the hearing, the question and answers. We do not know about that. But right now Anubrata Mondal is inside the courtroom, and there is a possibility that he will be taken, he will be brought back to Kolkata after the hearing, after CBI special court hears the case. Before this, he was taken to government guest house where his health checkup, where his medical checkup was done, ECIL guest house, and we saw that after that he was taken from that guest house to the court. And while he was brought to the court, outside the court we saw visuals how these common people gathered around there was showing slippers, trying to throw their slippers at Anubrata. This just shows how common people of Bengal are clearly angry about the scams that are ongoing everywhere in Bengal in all the departments, be it the recruitment scam, which includes top leaders of Trinamool Congress and the state government officials, or be it the cattle smuggling case which the CBI is right now trying to investigate, or the post-poll violence case, or different other scams like the coal scam. ED and CBI has been proactive in the last few days, and they have been taking actions in all these cases, and right now the hearing will begin. That's what we are hearing, but the journalists are right now outside and they are not allowed to go inside the courtroom. However, our sources are telling us that the hearing will begin shortly. Also, Trinamool Congress is holding a press conference in Kolkata. We have to keep a tab on that and try to get what reactions Trinamool Congress is giving on this. However, there is a larger clamor for action, from Mamata Banerjee, from the state government. Shawan.
Right, Kishale, also if you could help us understand what is there in the CBI remand paper and the arguments that are being put across before the court to seek custodial questioning of Anubrata Mondal. For example, we were hearing that he was essentially routing protection money, and there was a proper mechanism put in place with hierarchies below that were collecting protection money to let the cattle trade, the illegal cattle trade, continue onwards to Bangladesh. So are you getting to hear something about the remand paper and the arguments that the CBI is putting in the court to seek Anubrata Mondal's custody?
Yes, Abhishek, exactly. Like you rightly put, that there was a clear case of influence by Anubrata Mondal to carry on this whole business of cattle smuggling. The cattle was being brought to the border areas of Birbhum, and Anubrata Mondal is a very strong Trinamool leader in Birbhum, and these cattle were then smuggled to the border areas of Bangladesh, to the border of Bangladesh, and then taken inside Bangladesh. Anubrata Mondal was acting as a person who would reduce the interference of law and order, who would reduce any kind of police interference, and he was making the whole process a lot easier in lieu of money. According to the CBI, he got a lot of money out of this whole business of cattle smuggling, and therefore this case has been built up against him. And in the remand papers, well, CBI will surely ask for his custody because they have clear evidence of how Anubrata Mondal played a clear role of a catalyst in this whole business of cattle smuggling, and how he was the key person in that state who used to control the police department, a few officials of the police department, a few officials of the BSF, as was mentioned in the CBI charge sheet before, and a few other people, which includes his bodyguard Saigal Hussain, who built a property of 4 crore rupees, a bodybuilder having a property of what, 4 crore rupees, and then cash and jewelry is something that's staggering. And therefore Anubrata Mondal and his bodyguard and the people around him who he was influencing, all of them are considered by the CBI. When CBI went to his house today morning, they had a huge amount of document, a pile of document, which includes all the evidences that they have against him. So CBI was for sure to arrest today Anubrata Mondal, because last 10 times Anubrata Mondal had skipped the summon. CBI did not want to let him go this time, so they went there with all the preparations that they could. But however, the journalists are not allowed to enter the court premises this time. Therefore, we have to get our news from the sources inside the court, and we are hearing that the hearing will begin shortly. However, we do not know how many days of custody CBI will seek for. We will know that shortly, Abhishek. But surely CBI will seek his custody, and then will bring him back to Kolkata, to Nizam Palace, the CBI headquarters in this region, and then will question him further on this case. And there are other cases also pending against him, like the post-poll violence case. We also have to see that. Abhishek.
Yeah, also, Kishalai, since we have to continue this story, and obviously everyone would be interested in knowing, this is third or fourth minister of Mamata government getting embroiled in one investigation or the other. In fact, half a dozen now, perhaps. You would know better. But what is going to be the consequence of this development insofar as the Bengal politics goes?
Well, Abhishek, we saw how that 2 days ago, 2 days back, there was a case in High Court where 19 Trinamool Congress leaders, many of whom are ministers, were named, whose property soared after they became ministers or after Trinamool Congress came to power. There were evidences and instances where the property of these people, these ministers, doubled, tripled or quadrupled in 5 years after Trinamool Congress came to power. That case was registered in High Court. That case is right now ongoing in High Court, and High Court has also attached ED to this case. So we have seen how ED has been proactive in all the cases that they are right now that they are investigating, and this is another case that ED is attached to by the High Court. Therefore, not only Partho Chatterjee, who is related to the cash scam, to the recruitment scam, SSC scam, not only Anubrata Mondal, who is related, who is directly influencing this cattle smuggling scam, this cattle smuggling case, but also other Trinamool leaders, other Trinamool ministers, including Firad Hakim himself, have been named in that case, where their property have been doubled, tripled or quadrupled just after Trinamool Congress came to power and they became ministers. And also the name of Shadhan Pandey, who is not living right now, who is expired, is also there, and his property also doubled or tripled in these few years. So therefore, clearly, many of these leaders of Trinamool Congress are in a soup right now, where their property is under ED scanner or CBI scanner or scanner by some different agencies, and these agencies are trying to look at the process in which you can double, quadruple your property without doing a full-time job just by being a minister. That's the question, Abhishek. They became a minister to serve people, but they gained properties worth crores and crores. So how did that property come from? Who benefited out of that? Who was the beneficiary of that amount of money? And how that money came into these ministers, whether through agencies, and what was they dealing with? These are the questions that CBI is dealing with. Therefore, all these ministers, big honchos, big faces of Trinamool are right now under the fire. And if all of them are being booked by CBI or ED, all these agencies, clearly this government is in trouble. Abhishek.